off. Okay. So I woke up today. I checked Reddit. I was seeing what people were saying. You guys saw my morning stream. My morning stream was I didn't get out of bed. I didn't look at the charts, and I already thought like, oh crap, this doesn't look good for the day. I knew that it was going down, but I didn't know how badly GME was gonna go down. I went on Reddit earlier today, and I saw this one person. They decided to YOLO buying GameStop. Look at this. So they spent like $1 million, and they bought 200, and they bought it at 262 allegedly. It is right now. Remember this price, 262? GME right now is $225. Yes, it went down 30% post-market. After it closed down, it went down another 15%. This means that right now it's at about $190. I'm actually thinking about selling my GME. And the reason why I'm thinking about selling the GME is because I feel that it's losing momentum, and I feel that when people see the price go down 45% in one day, I don't know what it's going to be at open tomorrow, but when people see these kind of numbers and they bought in over $300, they are not going to want to put any money on this, because having it drop kind of sends the message that there's no rush to pick it back up from 225, or when it dropped down to 270. I remember before they said anything under 300 people would consider to be a steal, because it was going up to around $400 or so. And I fear that some people are just getting into it, new investors, and they see it, and instead of kind of monitoring what's going, they're thinking like, oh, this is a really good buying opportunity. I'm going to hold. But the downside about that is, if you're putting in big money for GameStop, you're also losing big money as well. Right now, I'm a little bit up. As I told you guys before, my average is 176. The 2 shares that I bought, I think I bought one at, let's see here. I bought one at 240, and I bought the other one at 225 or so. So for TD Ameritrade, I'm at 232 average. And I think I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna sell the ones at TD Ameritrade tomorrow, because I don't wanna, I don't want it to go down even further, and then for that one, it just doesn't recover or something. So the downside about what's going on is, as I mentioned in my previous stream, there's a lot of like divide. There's a lot of division. There's so many people chasing after all sorts of stocks like KOSS, KOSS, SLV, AG. What else is there? BlackBerry. What else? Naked, Bed Bath and Beyond, that whole list. People threw money into it. Maybe it spiked up. They had the fear of missing out, kind of like what I had with Mara. You guys know that I'm down, I think, 22% with Mara right now. Before it used to be 40, but since Bitcoin has been surging, cryptocurrency has been surging, the stock's been going up. But yeah, so today I looked up, I looked at what was trending. And this is one of the stuff that's trending. It went up 32%. You want to see what it is? Freaking GoPro. So GoPro's going up because, just like GME, it's shorted, and people are taking these crappy stocks, throwing their money in there, and they will have this fear of missing out. So they want to capitalize on the gain, and I'm not too sure how these people are playing it. Maybe they think this is going to be the next GME, just diamond handed, that kind of stuff. It is extremely reckless, in my opinion. I would not go after GoPro right now, because let's say tomorrow at open, I purchase it. It can crash. And if it crashes, I have no faith that these people would buy into it. They might be like, haha, we already got our 10%, we already got our 20%, we're out of here. Or you might have the diamond hand people who say, yeah, I don't care if it drops 50%, I have faith that I'm going to make more money. See, so I feel like this is a trap. And here's another thing, right? So you guys knew yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, I was streaming about it, and I was like, why the hell is this piece of crap KOSS costs so up? So if you look at my previous stream, it was around $89, 80, 88 or $89. You want to see the price today? $35. This was a piece of crap stock. It went down over 50%, 53%. You got bag holders. I know there's bag holders. You can't time this market like this. It seems that it was up. It was at 53, so let me look at the week. You guys can see. So it was over here, 946. And then it went up. This is on the 27th. You guys can see the bottom, right? It went up to 1666. See, slow ups, 35, 36. And then it goes boom up to 105. I know Robinhood has those restrictions. Other stocks have those restrictions as well. But seeing what's going on, right, with GME, with the restrictions, it kind of tanks. And then I know those people who bought KOSS costs at 112 or whatever, like $90. They're like, oh crap, we're back at 32. You know, buy. We need the stock to go up. You don't want to lose their money if they're up here, right? So it goes up, and then it goes up to 94. And I'm pretty damn sure the people who bought around here is like, frick it, we got to get out now. So afterwards, it goes down, it has a sell-off, and then you see someone bought it over here. They're like, oh, it's opportunity buy. And then it looks like $33. That is extreme volatility. It seems that also the trend that I'm seeing is it was over here, it spiked up, it went down, it spiked, but it was less than this spike, you see? So this initial spike was the money if you timed it right. And then it just went lower and lower and lower, and probably tomorrow it's going to be around 25 most likely. But I could be wrong. You know, maybe it's going to spike up to 50. Expect it to be lower than the 75 over here. See, go up. I feel like as you got this spike over here, you got, and it's just going on a decline. I would not chase this stuff at all. This is scary, and I think that the way to go is really just going longs. If you're not timing this, if you're not looking at this thing, I know some of you guys told me, oh, Erica, you know, invest in AMC. It's an opportunity, but I just don't feel comfortable with it. And the reason why I don't feel comfortable with it is if I'm not looking at the chart and there's a mass sell-off, I'm worried that I'm going to be bag holding. So we can see over here, right? You had the 14, the 15, the 16. I really thought it was going to go up, but then restrictions came in, and then sell-off happened. Boom. Right? This should be a buying opportunity. Not really. Okay, today it's, oh wait, no, the 29th. You can see it goes up, and it goes down, and it goes up, and then it goes down. So it never hit the peak that it was over here. It seems that it's kind of floating between here and here. It went down 6.3% tomorrow. I just worry about the long-term thing about the stock. Even when I look at the chart here, okay? Let's say, okay, so the situation with you know what going on happened, let's just say here. This stock was at $13, $14 or so. Okay, so let's say I want to hold on to this stock and hope it goes back to 2019 levels or over here. Is that really wise to hold on to it? Because there might be a lot of volatility. Maybe it's going to go down to $10 or so. I don't feel comfortable holding a theater stock long term. And I just think that it could go down further. I really hope it doesn't. But for me, it's like this kind of stock, I would not feel comfortable holding it in. Like the stocks that I invest in, it's something that I'm either closely monitoring or I have faith. And AMC, I don't really have much faith. Yeah, so yeah, what is this? Fubo TV, what the hell is this? Going up 24%. Okay, see, so again, this is mentioned over Wall Street bets. Right, where is that? Wall Street bets. Here we go again. So all these people are just chasing after this stock. And when you look at this, it went up $53. It went down over here. Can you imagine buying at 54 and then seeing it go down like, I don't know, 40, 42, and then you're holding your breath like, oh crap, is it going to go up? And thankfully, it seems like it's going back up, but I don't like this volatility swing. It's not fun seeing a portfolio swing 10-20% and trying to time it. Especially if you are invested in multiple. If you're invested in like Fubo and GoPro and AMC and other stocks at the same time, it's just going to get really overwhelming. It's not about the money, but it's about sending the message. Okay, John, I'm going to say that's bullshit. I'm going to say that's bullshit. No one is going to be, a lot of people are not putting their money because they want to be altruistic. It's because they see the possibility to make cash. If people were that altruistic, we wouldn't be seeing these big gains over here. People are holding out for GME because they think that the price is gonna surge up. That's the whole reason why you had so many people buying all this stuff. If people wanted to just send a message or help out the world, they would donate more to charity. And then the whole GME thing, we see how that thing's panning out, right? I don't think it's really doing so well. I mean, how can you say like, oh, we want to send a message with Fubo when GME has gotten 10 times more media attention than Fubo? Who's investing in GoPro? It's the people that are looking at the shorts and then they're saying, "Oh yeah, maybe we can make some quick money, or we can send a message or something like that with that." I don't like this stuff. Again, you have to time it really well. If you hold, you could just be burned out 45%. Again, look at cost KOSS. Like, yeah, people want to send a message with this stock? Really? I don't think people really want to lose 53% of what they're putting it in, right? Like, okay, I want to send the message and lose 53% of my money. People are not playing around with only like $10 or $20 or $100. You have people like a person like this, they put in $1 million. Why would you put $1 million into a stock like this? It's because you see the opportunity, or you have the hope that you're going to be doubling your money or getting a 30% return or so. But when I look at it, right, I think that it's just too freaking risky. It's really like gambling. You're hoping that this thing will turn into DVF. That guy on Wall Street Bets. It's, in my opinion, it's not. It's going to be very depressing when you have someone putting this kind of money and they lost. So this person probably lost, what was it, 20% or so. So now he's at 800 something thousand, and before he was at 1,050. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And when I was looking at Wall Street Bets, there were people that said, "Oh, all the money, all the profits that I made off of investing." They bought GME today. And I'm like, oh, for frick's sake. And this was not a low amount. I think it was under 300, but it definitely was over 225. So those people who put in their money into GME today and it tanked, yeah, that's depressing. That is really depressing. 225. You put in your money that you made and then it tanks down 30%. Gotta be really careful about what you do. I would not 100%. I would not put all the returns that I made into like the stocks into GME. People might say, "Oh, Erica, you're not going big or go home." Yeah, because I don't want to have this kind of volatility swing. I would 100% rather put it into something safer, like an ETF, or put it into Microsoft. It's not going to be, or Tesla. It's just like, this is scary stuff. And 30%, 45% on one day, that's really disheartening. And I know that people are going to look into GameStop tomorrow and say, "Oh, wow, GameStop's really cheap. Let me buy it." And then they might say, "Okay, I'm going to go all in now because I'm at a low price." And if there's another 30% shake up, you guys get what I'm saying? It's just getting lower and lower and lower. So we will see what happens tomorrow about it. Yeah, it's really like this. People are going blindly into these stocks thinking that maybe there's more room to run, right? But when I look at the chart, if I look at the chart over here, the person who bought over here, right? They're probably thinking like, "Oh man, it went all the way up. It's going to go more up." It doesn't. It went down. You see? And then they had to wait 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and it still hasn't gone up to that original amount. Maybe they average down. Maybe they put all in at the top. I don't know, but that is not good. Where's the long-term investment in GameStop? There is none. There's this idea that there's going to be a short squeeze and then the price is going to shoot up to $1,000, but I don't, the more I think about it, the more I'm a little uncertain about it. I think maybe I would hold on to one or two shares, but I don't feel that comfortable holding all 6 shares now because I worry that if this thing drops, if GME drops another 50% tomorrow, I'm going to be definitely in the negative for sure. You see? And I don't want to take that 50% downside because whatever the surge is, yeah, I could say, "Oh, it's going to surge up even more. It's going to surge up 50% more." But is it going to be 50% tomorrow and then the next day another 50%? It's just going to be a slow bleeding out. I had a good amount of cushion for GME, as you guys know. When I was charting it, 2 days ago, I said, "Oh, look at this." I felt like my good buy price was between 240 and 240 and 220, and I said, "Oh, if it drops underneath 197, or I'm gonna be buying more." But now when I look at the chart, I can see that it went up to 316. I don't know if you guys can see that. It went up to 316. It dropped down, and instead of immediately recovering over here, it just kind of went into the sideways action. And I've read that people feel like there's manipulation because according to the chart, it looks like a lot of people are holding. And if there is manipulation, I have more reason to even believe that it's not going to hit that GME price target of 1,000. You get what I'm saying? Like if the price can drop that much and there's not too many people selling, that kind of worries me. And yeah, and who's not to say that right now, if we were to believe this, that conspiracy theory that there's manipulation going on. I believe there's manipulation going on. What's to say that when people get shaked out, the company, these institutions are not buying it around this level if there was going to be a short squeeze or no? It's reducing it. I'm not planning to invest back into GameStop. It could, I'm maybe thinking about holding one or two shares, but I just don't like this. I don't want to look at any holding and see a 50% drop in one day. Of course, 50% gain is good too. But what I've learned is what goes up can go down, right? What goes up can go down, and you're hoping it goes up all the way here. But this is consecutively, I think it's like this. You can see. So it went up, and then it went down, and then it went up, but it didn't go as high as over here, right? And then it's like slowly going down. You see, it's going down this way. So it went up, and then it kind of went sideways, peaked over here, went down, still not as high as this. So it never recovered and went up back to whatever this high point is. I believe the high point was 480, 483. And then, yeah, compared this point to this point, this one's lower, right? This one to this one's lower. And then I just see it going more lower. Maybe it's going to spike, maybe I'm wrong, but There's just once it starts cutting into cutting into my portfolio, and then I don't want to be holding the bag to the point where it gets down to like $70, and then people are still saying hold, 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 hold. You know, it's gonna go up. It's gonna go up. Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to. You know what? I knew a person who back around 2010, 2011ish, maybe 2009 or 2011ish. They were telling me, oh, silver's spiking up. You know, silver's really, really valuable. And I said, what do you mean? And they said, oh, there's less silver in the world than gold. So they went all out and they bought like $10,000 worth of silver. I'm talking about like a big silver brick. They bought a big silver brick because they believed in it so much. And then I looked around the price. I think they paid around 28 for it, but I could remember it wrong. And then during the last, bunch of years, every so often, I look at the price of silver and I'm like, frick, it's about the same frickin' price as it was when he bought it. So when I think about it that way, yeah, maybe silver is spiking up or maybe people have a demand for silver, but I don't think it's gonna turn silver into $50 an ounce. That's just my thinking, based on what I saw from that one person. I mean, it's just like I didn't see it being like a big time investment. In fact, you get more gains if you invest in uh, Walmart than you have investing in silver, historically. You see, like let's look at the Walmart's Walmart. Can I see Walmart? Walmart. So like look at this, right? So Walmart back in 2012 was $47. Now Walmart is 139. So this is like basically a three-time gain over here. Yeah, like a three-time gain. And silver has not gone up three times since 2011. So I'm not. I don't. Based on what I know about silver, based on what I've seen, because I check up on it maybe once a year or so, or when I'm curious, I'm like, oh, I wonder if his $10,000 investment paid off. It's like I don't see it. So I don't see the point of holding on to silver unless you believe the apocalypse is gonna come and of course like the dollar's gonna crash. So buy silver, buy gold, buy crypto, that kind of stuff. But I just don't see it with silver. I don't. But if people want to buy silver and buy big blocks of silver, then good on them. I just rather not hold up money in a silver coin. If if stuff hits the fan, I'm gonna need a sizable amount of silver if I want to convert it into some sort of, like if I want to barter with it. Like even if I had a $10,000 brick of silver lying around, right? Like, well, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna have to chunk it down if the apocalypse comes and then just I don't know. I can't cut it with a knife. It's like, what do I do? Go over to another person and ask them to cut it into pieces for me with some sort of, you get what I'm saying? Like, how do I distribute or how do I work with $10,000 brick of silver without getting mugged trying to chunk it into pieces? Yeah. So I'm not a big fan of silver, but I don't see any bad thing about holding a little bit of silver. I just don't see it as a worthwhile investment. Yeah, and if I did want to barter with someone, I don't want to have like a big block of silver. I want to have little coins so that way I could say, hey, I want to buy this. Let's say we're at this age where dollar is worthless, and I'm using silver coins. It's not like I have thousands and thousands and thousands of little silver coins to give away, and who has a scale on them, right? Yeah, that's just me though. So. Yeah. Let's see here. So yeah, and then so I want to talk about this stock. Remember this one that I was talking to you guys about, CCIV? Look at this. CCIV, the one with the Lucid merger, they went up 10% today, 11% after hours. Allegedly, the Lucid. Allegedly, of course, this is not financial advice. This is not investment advice. This is just me ranting. All I do is rant, right? All I do is rant. I'm not a professional. They said that in the next 2 days, allegedly, on the 4th, that the merger with Lucid is gonna be announced. Like the negotiations already happened, and they're just going. They're gonna announce it on the 4th. And speculation is that this is gonna be a one $50 stock after the merger gets announced, or $100. And I don't know. I don't know, but I have about $700 worth of this stock. I have a 44% gain. I wanted to actually add more. I added, I think so little, right? I added like 1 or 2 shares yesterday when I saw it, and I was like, I'm just gonna slowly average down. I did not expect it to go up 10% today. I thought I had a way more time. And next thing I know, I'm like, frick, I should have bought more. But I've been really distracted by the GME stuff. So, yeah. So I think that this will be a stock that will shoot up. I'm thinking about buying more, but then maybe I'll just buy more after the news gets announced. I heard that there was word about a merger in the past, and then the stock shot up to 32. In the event that whatever the rumor is doesn't pan out, right? There's a small chance that it's not going to pan out, a rumor. And it goes back down to 22, then I'm just going to continue adding just little by little by little by little. But just wanted to share that with you guys. And finally, you remember that guy? Okay, so yeah, so this is like not stock news, but you remember that guy who's Silento? That watch me whip, watch me nay nay guy? Remember him? I was actually listening to that song a couple of days ago, and I was planning to post it in my community post. Like, oh yeah, you remember this guy? I remember how times were so simple back then, and we could just talk about that kind of song. Well, turns out, where is he? Look at this. He got charged with murdering his cousin in Georgia. Yeah. Crazy. So this guy is a millionaire for sure, I would imagine. I would say multi-millionaire, but at least a millionaire. I mean, this guy's song was super viral. And yeah, he was charged with murder, and he was held without bond. And they found his cousin dead at the scene with multiple gunshot wounds. And they believe that any one of the residents, blah, blah, blah. Where's the word? Yeah, so see, they saw video cameras and things like that. So he really did do a number on his cousin. I mean, like freaking 8 bullet casings. Like, how could you do that to your freaking cousin of all things? But yeah, so he rose to fame in 2015. That song, Watch Me. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like, Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay. That one. That do the stanky leg. That song. It has like 1.8 billion views. What a freaking shame! Like, I can't believe it. Like, he has so much money. He could retire. I know this guy at least has $500,000, right? $500,000-$600,000. You get a humble place. He could retire for sure. I know he at least has that much money. I want to say he's a multi-millionaire, but frick. Like, geez, you could live this great life, and then you get caught up doing this kind of stuff, and then you kill your cousin, and now he gets to spend time in the bar, behind bars. Right? Just so sad. So sad. It just blows my mind. Like, he could live in comfort. Sip on champagne all day, or I mean, I don't know how many millions he has, but Yeah, if you have that kind of life, you could be living quite well. If he's like super loaded, he could have, um, yeah, the life that a lot of people would dream of having. And instead of just playing it safe, he gets himself sorted up in this kind of crap. And yeah, just sucks. It just sucks. So, just imagine, I'm just gonna say it out loud, like just imagine instead of murdering his cousin, he was just at home watching the GME charts or something like that, like that. But it seems that he was up to no good for whatever reason at, what time was it? 3:30 a.m. Not looking at GME charts, but shooting his cousin. It just sucks. It just really sucks. I'm so curious to see what the motive was. I mean, like, even if his cousin was stealing money from him, which I'm inclined to believe could have been the reason, I just think that he shouldn't have done it for sure. Like, why would, like, it's like different. It's not like like if he got into with someone, I could be like, oh yeah, he'll get a few months in jail. But when you do that kind of thing, you can possibly get life in prison or many years in prison. And if he wants to fight it with lawyers, that's going to cost a very, very pretty penny. And as I don't think they can do a recording studio in prison either. I mean, what's the point of having all this money if you're going to spend an extended period of your life behind bars? So, yeah, it was just eerie to me, like just the timing of it, because it's like I don't really listen to that kind of music, and it just popped in my head a few days ago, and I was looking at it, I was like, oh yeah, this is, and that guy's probably like, sail off into the sunset thing. Like Sean Kingston is another one. You remember that Beautiful Girls? Yeah, that guy who wrote you know, damn all these beautiful girls. That one song. Yeah, he's broke. And I'm like, how the hell did he become broke? He collaborated with like Bieber. He did all these other songs. I'm like, oh gosh. So yeah, that the whole Sean Kingston thing. He made this song. He had all this like flashy jewelry, and then it came out that he didn't pay the jeweler, and then he was like, oh, it's lies, and he was behind on bills, and he was like, oh, I let my mom take care of all my bills, and she just hasn't gotten around to it. And he's trying to flaunt how loaded he is. I'm like, dude, if you only have like one big hit song or two hit songs, like you don't need to be flashing out 100 grand chains or $300 chains. Like nobody gives a crap about you at that point. Just being honest here, right? If I was like a singer, or if I was, I'm not gonna be a rapper anytime soon, but if I was in that position and I had like one hit song or two hit songs that hit millions, I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna live the frugal life because I got damn lucky with those one or two hit songs. That's reoccurring, passive income. And yeah, like it's great. Yeah, I'm a one-hit wonder. I'm a two-hit wonder, but I could retire off those one or two freaking songs. Not this. I'm gonna flash how much I'm out there, how big I am, and look how rich I am, and look at all my expensive cars, and look at all my mansions, and just because once you spend all that kind of money and you get into debt, I imagine like that's probably his thinking, right? He probably overspent. I'm sure he had his accountant or someone telling him like, "Hey, the money's getting a little dry here," and instead of just following suit or lowering his spending, he just spent his money as if his bank account was a it was like limitless, or there was no, he had like millions upon millions of dollars. And now he's a freaking fool in my opinion, because when I think of Sean Kingston, I don't think about the chain. The first thing I think about, even before his financial things were confirmed in court, I think like, man, this is a guy who just wanted to impress other people, and now he truly is like screwed. Oh no, this is my old laptop. So this is Clio. This is my 2012 MacBook. So yeah, I'm gonna, you know what? Even if I sell GME, I'm still gonna have the Diamond Hands logo because I do diamond hand it. But I diamond hand companies that I believe in long term. I'm not going to diamond hand a company that or a trend that I kind of have questions about. Cost going down 50%. BlackBerry, I believe, is a strong stock, so I will diamond hand that one. But GME, it's just too volatile for me. And I think I might just keep one stock in there or two stocks in there, but I think I might just sell off the other four. But I'm gonna check on it because I don't want to lose money on this kind of thing. And I know some people would say, Erica, you should have taken the money out when you were ahead and see how it was. Well, I didn't know. It's like you hear about this thing and then you have this whole you have this thought that, oh, it's gonna go up to the moon or it's gonna go up. And then I remember people were thinking, what was it, like last week Friday? Like if you held on till last week Friday or maybe today, like you're gonna make bank. And obviously that didn't happen. And I don't want to be like the forever bank holder over here. I don't want to look at GME. Like if GME goes down to $80, I would I would be like, frick, Erica, frick, you should have just sold it. Yeah. So, yeah. So, but I might just hold on to like one or two stocks and then see one or two GME just for the hell of it. You guys know that I invested into space. I bought it, I think around 40.85 in February of this year. You guys can look at the chart. I know Clio ran out of battery, so I can't show it to you guys, but I bought space around 40.85. It went down about 50%. I said, hell with it. I don't want to chase it. I only put $200 worth because I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. It's one of those speculative things. If I'm not too sure about it, or if it's like, if I'm not too sure about it, I'm not going to put a lot of money into it. I'm just going to say, let me just buy a little. If I lose money, then, well, I lost a little, but that's it. So space, I was holding on to it because I liked the name of it. That was it. I just liked the name space. I thought it was cool, so I just bought it. It dropped 50%. I didn't average down, and now people are buying it for some reason. I didn't really look into why they're buying it, and it went up. I think about 30. No, it went about 30% today. So it's weird that I have a 44% gain. No, not 44% gain. Wait, maybe I do. I forgot. But yeah, I have a significant amount of gain off that space stock, and I'm like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. So my $200. Well, no, maybe it's not 40%. Anyway, I have like a significant amount of gain on that thing, and it's why I hold longs. I don't have to do anything about it. I just buy it. Maybe my timing's a little off. But if you buy it and you believe in it, or if you're okay with losing that money, sometimes you could be really impressed in the future and be like, wow, geez, yeah, that was a good purchase. Yeah, and at least I got like a few shares in. Oh, maybe it'll go up even more. So yeah, I'm at 6 shares of GME right now. So I have, let me try to remember this. Oh, I can't remember it. Oh my goodness. I forgot my average. I'm just thinking of too many numbers, you guys. Yeah, I forgot my average of GME. 148, I think. And then 148.35, and the other one for my 4 shares, and then the other one I think was 240 and 225. So something like 176 average together. So Trank with the Clock says they're thinking about getting into AMD as a legit investment. They're trying to get, yeah, they're a good investment. Someone else recommended TSM, the Taiwan semiconductor one, TSMC or something like that. Yeah, they said that one's really good too. But I don't want to over diversify. I know that sounds really funny coming from me, but it's like I don't want to have too many stocks in my portfolio. I'm already like all my play money that I have. Like when I talk about play money, it's like funds that I use to pull in and out of stocks and then throw it into new stocks. That's kind of tied up at the moment. And yeah, so but yeah, look into TSMC or TSM, something like that. Taiwan semiconductor manufacturer. They're a competitor of AMD. Or just type in like Taiwan semi something AMD competitor. Maybe you'll find it. TSMC. There you go. Or alternatively, you could do half AMD and half TSMC. But if you want to do a solid and legit investment, you could also look into like other companies or ETFs as well. I looked at AMD and I've been kind of disappointed in it. I feel like it could have grown a little bit more, but that's just me just looking at it. I'm like, yeah. And I'm kind of worried about the chip stuff. Maybe it's like just because I'm interested in companies that take over things or they have new products coming out. Like Amazon. Amazon's earnings is tomorrow. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so excited about Apple's earnings. I think it went up 4% today, and I was like, yes, 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 yes. So Amazon I like because it's very well diversified. Whole Foods, Twitch, Zappos, bunch of other companies that I can't remember off the top of my head. They're in pharmaceutical as well. Like that kind of stuff I think is really good for a long term. But how much more can grow at 3,000? I don't know. I really hope they do a split. And if they do a split, you guys, I'm tempted to buy more Amazon if I find out they do a 1-to-5 split or something. You know what? I think, okay, so I would say, like, if you're interested in AMD, you shouldn't go all AMD. You should maybe do like half of this and half in something else. I'm not a big fan of going all into one stock. Just because if that stock tanks, that means your whole portfolio tanks. So, for instance, right, when I made my portfolio, I knew I wanted to do Amazon and I knew I wanted to do JD. And I had done about 25% Amazon and 25% JD because I was thinking to myself, in the event that one tanks, the other one can hold it up. And I was really lucky because JD ended up tanking 50% when the CEO got arrested. And that's not something I could have foretold, right? So Amazon went up and it saved my portfolio a bit. It propped it up until JD recovered. So I bought it at 47.02 for JD. It went down to like $20. And then it went up. I think now it's like 90. Yeah, probably 88, 90 or so. Frick. But yeah. So you have less risk in a sense in the event that one kind of falters. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And but I also think that if you see any stock that you're interested in, I know some people will criticize me and say, Erica, it's not good to be over diversified. My thinking is that, hey, if you see a company that you really like, just buy one share of it. Because gains is gains. I I bought like a whole bunch of stocks, and I know I'm like way too over diversified, you guys. I have like over 20 stocks, but with the stocks that I bought, some of them has gone up like 500%. Tesla went up 1,000%. I have like a few stocks that are about 400%, 500% gain. Yeah, I think Tesla's probably like a 1,100% gain. And it's just like having those kind of stocks and then seeing them grow. Even if I just have like a few shares of it or so, I'm like, yes, yes, this is great. And if I didn't invest in those stocks, I think that I've of course would have had less gains. But there's just so many stocks out there, and I don't like doing this whole thing where I gotta pick and choose between stocks. One share won't get me anywhere, that much, but I think of it this way. I think that if that stock as a whole goes up, and then if I decide to sell, then I can just like X that out. But yeah, if I bought, let's say I had $100 that I wanted to invest into a stock, right? I bought, let's say, one stock at $20, and then I bought another stock at $10, just like split it out, right? If one stock I bought at $20 goes up like 500%, it's like that one stock could cover like the whole initial cost of that portfolio, provided that the other ones don't tank. So yeah, I don't see anything bad about it. It might not move as quickly as you want it to, but that's with like any stock. Like Amazon, for instance, have kind of gone sideways for the last 6 months. So I don't see, I think people criticize that, but then I also know people personally where they told me, they said this, like, they told me, Erica, I had money and back then in the day, I wasn't too sure if I wanted to buy between one company and one company. So for instance, right? I wasn't too sure if I wanted to buy eToys or Priceline. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they say, well, Erica, when I buy stuff, I want to do like, $1,000 worth at a stock, so that way I get the gains. And I said, okay. So they the decision, right? They said, oh, should I buy eToys or should I buy Priceline? They decided to buy eToys. Unfortunately, eToys went bankrupt. And Priceline, last time I checked, is probably like about $1,000 a share. You see? So because they went with one stock versus the other one, all their investment that they put into that one stock, it went kapoof because the company went bankrupt. If they had done 50-50 between eToys and Priceline, they would have made out because the gains for Priceline would have definitely X'd out any losses from eToys. And this is back like around early 2000s or so. So this is really, really back. And they would have probably been holding still. But that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I don't think there's anything bad about buying a few shares of a certain stock. But I do think it's important to have like main holdings or so. So about 64% of my portfolio is just invested, I think, in about 5 different stocks, and then the rest are just kind of like here and there, here and there. So yeah. Yeah, so I am yeah, so that like my whole intention with my portfolios, if one goes kaput, then I don't have to worry about it too much. I did have one stock that did go kaput on me. Two actually. One was TVEX, but I cashed out before it went kaput. And the other one was Frontier Communications, and I just bought it because I was curious. So I only bought like $30 worth of it because I was kind of curious to see what would happen to it. And that went kaput, and I only lost $30. But for other people, if they invest in a stock and let's say they go all in into like kaput on it, let's say they bought Frontier Communications and they went all in on that, and then it goes kaput, when they don't check their portfolio, then all their investment would be gone. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm really, really hesitant about going all in on a specific stock, because I worry that down the line I'm worried that the company might go under. Something like Amazon, I'm not worried about it. Something like JD, at least right now, I'm not worried about it. It's a really big company. Apple, I'm not worried about that going kaput either. Microsoft, not worried about that going kaput. But some of these newer companies, like I'm a little bit more hesitant about it. Like a Neo, I don't know too much about Neo, but maybe it'll go kaput. Who knows? Probably not, but in the event that it doesn't last for the next 10 years, then I won't be surprised if it goes kaput somewhere between now and 10 years. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I heard. They say when you look at the volume of these stocks, it doesn't indicate that there was a mass sell-off. So it's the short ladder, I believe that's what they call it, right? And I think that if they're this successful today and the price is going down that low, I worry that how much lower is it going to be tomorrow? That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, it's not like it's like there's only so much that I'm willing to let my portfolio bleed out. Do I think over existent? Yeah, I do think over diversification does happen, because let's say, for instance, you have like 50 stocks. Let's just say that, right? If one stock does really good, it might get negated by a stock that does bad. So I think that the more stocks that you have, it can pull down your portfolio if you have like loser stocks. And I don't want to call it like loser stocks as like, they're terrible, terrible stocks, but I think people know, like, sometimes you'll have those stocks that are kind of act like an Amazon that just seems kind of like dead weight. So you probably might have a lot more gains, but because you're into that, because you have like a dead weight stock, just your gains aren't as good as they could be, because if it's like a loser, it's like all your profits from one stock could be propping up another stock. Yeah. So I don't want to be like holding on to a stock and then um like a stock that's kind of new, and then think to myself, oh, I got to go all in on one stock and not the other. I rather just do 50-50, or if I have like four different stocks, I'll just divide it by four. And then whatever languishes, right, I'll just sell it off. Or if it's like come 3 months down the line, one stock's losing me 10%, the other stock has gained me 30%, I'll sell the 10% off. And then the stocks that have gained me 30% pull, it offset the 10%. Yeah, it's hard to kind of, you have to, like, for me, um I have to look through all the charts for my stock. So I looked at it and I can identify, like, hey, this stock hasn't moved very much. Like, this stock is really good. I'll look at like the 3 month mark of it, like, oh, okay, in the last 3 months it went up 10%. Okay, in the last year it went up, 80%. Like, that's a good stock. But then when I look at other holdings, I'll be like, okay, in the last 3 months this stock went down 10%, and in the last year it only went up 20%. I'm going to exit the latter stock out, because I'm going to say, well, it only gained me 20% this year. And if it went down 10% in the last 3 months, I kind of worry about the future outlook of it. So I might decide to sell that stock, take the money off of that stock, and then invest it into another stock, or reinvest it into my strong holdings, right? So um, I don't think I can go wrong with Apple, for instance. So if I wanna sell off, let's say, a stock that has only made 20% this year, I can sell it off, put it back into Apple, which has more gains, and then Apple has a dividend too. But that's just an example with it. Um, so I've held on to certain stocks for the last since 2018, and some stock have done really well. Other stocks is kind of like, could be better, and that's one of the factors of like why I decided to buy another share of Tesla today, because I thought to myself, okay, Erica, you can see that it touched 900. I see that Tesla has a good fan base, and I think that they're really diversified. So I don't mind holding on to a stock and then seeing where it brings me in the next 10 years or so. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Tesla's going to go kaput, but it's not like I'm only in Tesla. I know some people will say like, "Oh, the only stock you should invest in would be all in for Tesla," but I just kind of worry about that, because I don't like, I think a lot of stuff rides on Elon, and I just think, like, man, if the tides change, we got a lot of competitors coming into the EV market. Lucid alleged merger with CCIV, like, that's gonna be something. The car that they're making has more mileage than Tesla. So yeah, but in the event, I do believe that if there is a merger, then Lucid is gonna, CCIV is gonna shoot up, and yeah, it's definitely gonna be worth more than $28 a stock. But just a matter of when that information gets uh gets pushed out. Yeah, so I would have definitely, look, I would have definitely invested more into Tesla if I not had not listened to that one earning call from Elon. So I bought one share at 352 back in 2018. I listened to an earnings call, and I remember Elon said something like, why are you guys asking me such stupid questions, or something like that, or I don't have time for stupid questions. And when I heard about it, I was like, oh, for frick's sake, Erica, really, you invested in this frickin' company? Come on now. And yeah, I didn't like it. It just rubbed me the wrong way. So I held on to my one share of Tesla. I didn't really pay too much attention to my portfolio. I just kind of let it ride. I was like, okay, okay. So by the time I look through my portfolio and I look at Tesla, I'm like, what the hell? How did Tesla gain this much money? You see? So it was just an oversight on my fault. I completely overlooked it. And I think that if I had not listened to that earnings call, I would have taken Tesla a lot more seriously. But I was kind of swayed by what I heard, and I was like, Apple shares do I have right now? I have. I don't have. I forgot how many I have. But I think it's about 45 or so. 45 shares or so. Yeah, I bought it before the pre-split. I bought it before it split, so I've been holding on to that thing. Yeah, that's what I heard. I'm also looking into like ARKK's or ARK when they do the space ETF. I kind of want to get into that, so I might pull some funds from one of my from stock and then throw maybe some money into that because I'm kind of curious to see what happens, you know. Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing I want to tell you guys about. So dividend stocks. Some dividend stocks. I used to be very pro dividend, and now like I look at it and I'm like, for frick's sake, I'm not. I have like a love hate relationship with dividends. So sometimes like if you have a dividend stock, you might think like, oh, it's good. It's free money. So every quarter you get X amount of money. But the problem is with that is that sometimes if you buy a stock with a high dividend, the growth isn't really there. And in the event that the stock price tumbles, you don't have that much faith that the stock price is going to go up. So for instance, right, I was looking into one stock, one ETF, and it's called SRET, SRET. And I just have one share of that, okay? Because I was kind of gauging it. I was like, I wonder what's gonna happen the long term of it. It's so sometimes like if I see a stock and I don't have too many of these, but I'll look into a stock and then I'll say, okay, let me gauge it to see if I have like 100% gain or something. I just wanted to look at this because this was a high dividend stock, and then I saw it go up, and then after the crash that's been going on, I think I'm down like 40% or so. And mine, never mind the fact that it has a pretty high dividend. I'm like, frick, the dividend does not cover the losses that I made from this stock, and I don't have that much faith that the stock is gonna go up. But I continue to hold it because I'm like, well, it's just $14, Erica. So maybe in 10 years it'll go up. What can I really do with $14 with the stock? So yeah, but I feel like that stock SRET, SRET, it is a real estate dividend. Like that one, I'm like, ugh, ugh. How much are they running per share? Oh, 132, I think. 132, 131. I think before it was at 145, it retracted a little back, but this is freaking Apple. It's gonna go back up. And it has dividend too, so yeah. I shouldn't say this, but I feel like if you want to buy Apple, then you don't really have much to worry about because if you feel like you're losing money right now, don't worry. Just wait till next Christmas season. Yeah, or wait for their new product line. The stock's gonna go up. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm not too big. Like I like having dividends because dividends is nice to see. You see, it's like depending on how much stocks you have with dividends, it's like extra money, and then when the money pulls up, you can buy new stock or you can buy more into other stocks. So it's not bad to have dividend. It just kind of comes at a price. So yeah, Starlink, I'm looking into that. I think that when it does an IPO though, like that thing's gonna surge up. I feel like it's gonna be like Posh. And I forgot what the price was, but it went up like a lot when it opened up. I don't know what the price of Posh is right now. Poshmark, POSH. But yeah, I remember it went up a lot. Maybe it crashed a little. Who knows? But anything with Elon Musk on it is good. Anything that he tweets, any stock, any Bitcoin or something, it always surges. It's like whatever he touches turns into gold. Yeah, I don't know too much about Starlink, but I heard that people like it and Elon Musk. So, okay, sure, I'll go with it too. Yeah, so that is like you can kind of gauge what my investment strategy. See something that looks good, put some money in it. If it doesn't work out, sell it. If you don't believe in the long term thing about it, take the money, take the profits, put into another stock. But I only do that with certain holdings. I'm not gonna touch Amazon. I'm not gonna touch Apple. I'm not gonna sell my Apple stock. I'm not gonna sell my Amazon stock anytime soon. Apple's already big. Like I'm not worried about Apple at all. Like Apple's like kind of like the tree that keeps on giving. Yeah, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Until then, people can go for gains. I just hope, and again, this is not financial advice. Everything I do is just me ranting. That's the way I like to put it. But I just hope people do not try to chase these like the GoPros too much, the cost too much, the Bed Bath and Beyonds. I imagine like so, I know Fitbit got bought out by Google, but it's like one of those crappy ass stocks, like some nail polish company or something, like like yeah, it's like I don't want people chasing these crappy stocks thinking that they're gonna make big money or so, and then they just hold these bags. Like that's very stressful. So yeah, if you want to invest, my suggestion would be is like if you want to do that, you can chase those stocks. You might get big gains, but you might also get big losses, as I've shown you guys in the past, with all these charts. My advice would be to go for longs instead. You invest in Apple, you don't gotta check it every freaking day. You don't gotta check it every 2 minutes or so. You're not gonna worry about Apple tanking down 50%. But um, those volatility stocks, it's just scary. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I can take the loss for GME in the event that it goes kaput. But a lot of people, like the people who invested $1 million into GME, or all their profits from stock, like all into GME, like I wish I could show you that link or can find that link, but it's on Reddit. Some guy says like all the years of all the investment profit that he made over the years, he threw it into GME today. And yeah, just I can't imagine making profit off the stock market and throwing it into a stock that tanks 50% in one day. I can't imagine. That's just depressing as hell. Because you guys know, like they say the average amount for the average investor to returns for a stock market is like 7%, right? Of course, it's higher if you go into tech. So that's why you see me heavy in like tech, online internet sales, that kind of stuff. Because I feel that as people invest more, as people get used to buying online, like right now, right, I didn't predict like the situation of course would have happened when I bought Amazon and when I bought JD, but people develop habits, and when people develop habits they get used to buying their nail polish, not their nail polish, their toothpaste on Amazon. They're not going to want to go to the store to buy toothpaste. Like for us, we have subscribe and save for our toothpaste, that Sensodyne Pro enamel. And for me to go over to the store locally and buy it, I'm like, okay, I gotta make a trip just for the toothpaste. Nah. It's easier like every month or every 2 months I have like a set amount of toothpaste that comes in, and then it just like autofill. So yesterday we ran out of toothpaste. We just had like a little bit left, and then sure enough, a couple hours later, we got a toothpaste shipment came in because of the subscribe and save. So yeah. No, the Robo Cat toy is still around. I use Robinhood for trading. And I know people will give Robinhood for shit, but I'm not worried about it because I don't use margin. I deposit cash in there, and then I just, use cash. So I don't do options, I don't do margins. It's just me buying stocks and me holding on to it. And my thinking is that I'm going to hold on to it for a long time. With my portfolio, pretty much except like GME and Mara, that's about it cuz those are my little uncertain ones. I feel comfortable basically holding my portfolio for like 5 years and not checking on it, but I always check on my portfolio every single day. I use Robinhood for my real investments. I don't. You can use Play account for Robinhood. I wasn't familiar with that. And then I have a TD Ameritrade too. But TD Ameritrade, I had that because I invested into Canadian weed stocks, and that was a total bust, you guys. I bought it in 2018. I freaking lost 88% of the money I put into those Canadian weed stocks, and thankfully it wasn't too much money, but it's just depressing looking at that portfolio and saying like, I lost like 88% on Aurora cannabis. And because I wasn't looking at it, it just sucked. But it's okay. I know. It was a small amount. I don't like putting in big amounts of money on something that's I'm a little uncertain about, and weed was something that I was a little uncertain about. I use Robinhood. I use both of my accounts for real investments. But I do have like a certain amount of money that I use for playing around, like GME, and it's like I feel comfortable, like certain holdings I feel comfortable like taking the money out and not holding it as long, like Mara for instance, right? Like Mara I'm like frick whatever, Neo I'm like whatever, but GME like whatever. If I want to pull the money out from Mara right now I could and then throw it into another stock, but yeah, you see, like that's like my wiggle room stock. um how does I don't really know the backstory of how Aurora Cannabis lost so much money, but it just there was just like problems with what was it? There was just like mountains of problems. I was genuinely surprised because I thought, from what I was researching back in the day, like the TD Ameritrade account, I only check it like maybe once a year up until recently. And yeah, it's like the weed stuff did not pan out for Aurora Cannabis. But in Canada, it went through or something like that. I forgot what it was, but I really thought it was gonna make me money, but it didn't. So, learning experience. I'm probably not gonna invest in weed anytime soon, cannabis stocks, and instead I focus on Apple, Amazon, that kind of stuff. I don't have any intention of expanding my JD holdings at all. Yeah, so yeah, sometimes you have stocks that do bust or go kaput, and it's a learning experience because I know now that I don't want to invest anything unless it's kind of like tech related or I really believe in the financials. I stay away typically from pharmaceutical because pharmaceutical from my experience it can be really crappy and have a lot of volatility. So yeah. So, yeah, that's why you see my stock is the way it is. Something like EV, I feel more comfortable with it. Not all like EV stocks. I'm thinking about selling Neo because I bought it kind of high and now I'm losing money from it. It's just like 2% or so, but I'm like, frick, I could use that money and invest it in something else. You know, take the money out, take lose the 2%, throw it into CCIV or something like that. That's a better thing because, you know, CCIV went up 20% today. So lose the 2% from Neo, put more money into CCIV, there's more upside. Neo hasn't been. I think I bought Neo at 57 or so, so something like that. I thought it was gonna shoot up, but it kind of does that stupid JD thing where it goes up and then it retracts back, and then it goes up and then it retracts back. It just pisses me off. And then yeah, so it does this like back and forth rowing motion, you know, up and down and up and down and up and down, and the hope is that it goes upwards. But while I'm waiting for it, if I see other opportunities and I don't put the funds into the other opportunities, I can miss out. But for the CCIV thing, I kind of think like, yeah, if I don't, because the merger, allegedly a merger, the announcement's gonna come out within 2 days. I'm gonna have to look at the CCIV chart and then try to find a way to get in, um, or so. Yeah. I'm researching solar panel companies to invest in now. You know what's a pretty good stock? I know it went down today, but I don't know if they do solar. I can't remember off the top of my mind, but Sun Power is a good one. SPWR. Like try look into that. Like that's gone up a lot. Yeah, that went up a lot. Oh, that builds solar panels? Oh, I'm not too sure with that one. There's just so many. Mission Solar. Well, what's the stock ticker for that? Because I know like solar. I mean, like I don't know who does solar panels. I think Tesla does solar panels, right? But there's like Plug. That's popular. I don't know if that's solar panel, but I know it's like clean energy related. And then S Power is something too. Yeah, Sonia, what's the ticker for that? What's the name for it? Like I know Tesla's TSLA. What is Sun Power? I mean, what is Mission Solar? MSO? MSLR? Don't mind me, I'm using hand cream. Oh yeah, the Powerwall from Tesla does look nice. Hold on. Yeah, so you know what? If I remember, I'll look up the Mission Solar. I gotta charge Cleo. So, um, yeah, but anyway, I think that's all I wanted to say about the stocks today. And if 8 million people in the market, what is this? Oh no, HL 7 shares. You know what the thing is, Francis? I heard that they closed out a number of their positions. Allegedly, it's not 140% shorted. It's only like 53% shorted or something like that. So I'm kind of worried about I kind of worry about all this manipulation thing. What I don't want is I don't want the more I think about it, I think those companies are going to be doing things to repress the prices, and I don't want to be on the short end of that stick and then worry about, let's say, my little profit margin going into the negatives over GME. I definitely could have cashed out earlier, but it's okay. It's okay. I could have taken profits a lot earlier, and normally I would have, but hearing about the short squeeze sounded very, very, very alluring, and yeah. So anyway, so the GME thing, I'm planning to sell some stocks, and especially if it like tomorrow's a bloodbath. I'm like, for frick's sake, I don't want to hold on to this stock and then it going down to $70. So yeah, it's like that kind of stuff, that kind of stress in the event that it hits up to $1,000 a share and I miss out, like that's okay. That's okay, because I don't wanna deal with it going down to like below 100, and I'm like, what the frick, Erica? You held on to this stock is giving you so much stress, and if I think about it, right? Like, okay, let's say I triple my money or so, that's gonna be a lot of mental stress on me. When I could just invest it into a long and just say, okay, maybe I'm not going to make all that money really quickly. Maybe I'll make it in 3 years or so, but I don't have to worry about it. Yeah. I think I've held on to it quite a bit, and I know people say diamond head, diamond head, diamond hands, but at the end of the day, I didn't invest into GME to lose money, right? I invested to make money, and when I think about things, I think that people are taking their money out of GME and investing in things like freaking GoPro and Cost and Tootsie Roll and all these, like, all this divide and conquer stock. And if everybody just stayed with GME, like, the price would have been up, in my opinion. But people are jumping ship. People are telling people to invest in silver. It's kind of got into some kind of mess. It's unorganized. It's more like people are screaming who invested at like the $330 mark, like, yeah, we buy whole GME, because they don't want the price to go down. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, and I can still say, like, yeah, I diamond handed it, but I'm not willing to put myself through that mental headache of having all 6 stocks and then it going down to possibly $60, because it's just like those people who went all in on GME, like some people, like I said, they invested their entire retirement savings just solely into GME. So if they invested back when it was like $350 and right now it's at $225, their retirement savings is pretty much cut in half, right? That's scary. That is really scary stuff. And I think that it's not wise. People who, let's say, they were really well diversified and they just got caught up in this intoxicating idea of making 50% gains every single day. It's just like it's gonna stop. Eventually, it's gonna stop. And what I show you guys in the chart is that it starts to retract. Instead of getting 50% gain, then you end up 30% down one day, 50% one day. And how much further is it gonna go down? Well, let's think about what the actual price of GameStop is. The actual price of GameStop before all this pump is probably around seven to $15, right? That is a substantial amount downhill, because right now it's at 225. So maybe tomorrow it's going to be another 50% gain. I will be in the negative if it drops down 50% tomorrow. So I have, I have money into, I have about 1,500 into GameStop, and I just think, like, yeah, I'm happy I made money about it, but I don't want to be holding the bag for GameStop. This is not something that I believed in long term. And again, maybe it's gonna Maybe it's gonna be like, oh, Erica, if you held on to your 6 shares, you would have made $6,000, but it's just a lot of mental stress. And then I also think about what if they bring down the value down to, like I said, $60 at one point, and then there's your short squeeze, and then it shoots up to, $300. It's like, okay, you held on that long, you went through all that stress, and then it's about the same price as it was before. Okay, see you, Sonia. You take care. Yeah, nobody can stop me, but it's like the movement, I think that I think the movement is on two sides. How would I say it? I think that you got people who do believe in sticking into the shorts, but you have a lot more motivation to hold on if you have a really high profit margin, or or you're bleeding out a lot of money. So if I had invested at $350 and today I look at it, it's 225, I'm gonna say, frick, maybe it can go up 50%. I should hold because I don't want to lose all that money, right? I'm just gonna hold because I don't want to have the realized gain. And maybe if I encourage people to buy the stock, then maybe it's gonna go back to where it was. Because nobody wants to sell the stock. Because once you sell the stock, you 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 accept your losses or you accept your gains at that point. You could sell the stock early and then tomorrow it shoots up 50%. You don't know, but um yeah, it's like if you bought it at $30 a share, you have a good amount of cushion between $30 and 220. I don't. I'm at 176. So, and even if I sell off the 220 and the 240, the $232 average one, I'm still, my average would be 8. So 148 versus 225 or whatever the current price is right now. It's not that far away. So I think you'll have a number of people who believed into GameStop, and I kind of worry that it's gonna fall down. And when it does fall down, you'll have so many freaking losses. You'll have people who say, I saved up money to put a down payment on a house. I thought I could double or triple it, so I went all into GameStop, or I went all into AMC, or I went all into costs, and I ended up with half my money. And it's really depressing when I think about it that way. For these people who are not well diversified, or who just thought, like, I'm just gonna go all in. And um, that's why I'm such a I've said many times, you gotta know your risk tolerance and you gotta stick to it. It's like, if I invested early, right? Maybe you could have said, well, Erica, if you put in, let's say, I don't know, like $10,000 into GameStop. Some people put in like 20, 30,000, right? Like, if you put the $10,000 into GameStop, Erica, you could have made $10,000 gain. I'm like, yeah, if I timed it right, maybe it would have dropped instantly down, and then my $10,000 turns into $5,000, like anybody who invested in today. I'm not willing to play that kind of money for GameStop. I'm not willing to do it for that kind of risky stuff. When did the GameStop? Well, you know what? The guy who's been doing this, he's been doing it since 2019. The guy with the DBF guy, the guy who's made like $40 million. He cashed out like $12 million. So he has about $30 million, I think, in options right now. He's been doing this since 2019, slowly buying stock, buying calls, that kind of stuff. And then I think the stock started surging up in December sometime. Yeah. But I mean, like, if someone told me to do that, I'd be like, hell no. If I could like turn back time, and if I really believed in him, I would invest $1,000. But that's about it. But on my radar, I'd be like, oh, I don't know about this. This sounds kind of fishy to me. Nobody could have predicted it would turn into a freaking, huge thing like it did. So that guy is really one in a million sort of thing. But yeah, the other thing too is that the reason why people go on these big numbers, you know, this whole all-in thing, is because if you want to make big money, you gotta put in big numbers. So for instance, typically, right? Let's say let's say if you have like $20, right? It goes up 100%. You would only make $40 total, right? And you would only make $20 total, so it'd be $40. 20 plus 20, 40, right? If you do 100 plus 100, 200, right? But if you do $1,000 investment doubles $2,000 investment, 10,000, $10,000 investment double $20,000 investment. So you're kind of understanding why people go in these big funds, right? It's like the way to make quick money fast, but as I've said before, what goes up quickly can go down quickly as well. So be very, very cautious about what you're doing with this big money, because for these kind of like pump meme stocks sort of thing, like go in, we're gonna, everybody likes the stock is gonna go. Again, what goes up quickly can go down quickly, and whenever, if you guys are ever thinking about that stuff, look at costs, look at KOSS. I spoke about it 2 days ago, $88. Now it's, what was it, 32, something like that. I forgot what it was, but yeah, it's just scary. And for certain people, it was really sad when I was looking at this stuff. And some people said like, oh, I have a lot of bills to pay, or I got, you know, I got bills to pay and I got my monthly rent, but instead of putting my money into my bills, I want to put it into GameStop because I want to double my money. I want to get out of debt. So I want to invest into GameStop because, yeah, maybe there's an opportunity to cash out and make double in a matter of days or a day. And that is so risky, you guys. That is so risky because some people doubled in a day and other people, like today, lost 50% of the value. So yeah, don't afford what you can't lose. And I'm a big fan of averaging up or averaging down and doing it wisely. So yeah. So at the end of the day, GameStop thing, even if GameStop went to $0, I'm fine. My portfolio's fine. Whatever gains I have from whatever gains I have, um, is going to be easily offsetting GameStop investment. Um, and that's just because it's like, yeah, I'm not worried about that kind of stuff. But it's just sobering to think that a good chunk of people went all in on money that they couldn't afford to lose. And if people see it go down psychologically, it can bring them into a really dark place. They're gonna have regrets about investing, and maybe they'll never invest again. Cause yeah. Ooh, what is the price of Ripple right now? Is Ripple up since 2018 or down? I don't know. Is BlackBerry still gonna rocket to the moon? I don't know, but I do believe in BlackBerry. The stock is along, so I plan on holding BlackBerry. Um, yeah, I believe that BlackBerry is undervalued, but I don't mind holding BlackBerry for a year or two. Some people, you know what? Like some people will go big because they believe in it, but for me, I'm like, I believe heavily in diversification. If one goes kaput, maybe your other holdings will save you from there. Oh, they got caught up in a lot of controversy, fraud, Ripple. Yeah, is what is Ripple, a stock or is that a cryptocurrency or what is that? Because I've heard of Ripple before. I can't put my finger on it what it is. Crypto. What is it? Did the price of crypto go down? significantly since 2018? I imagine it did, but who knows? Bitcoin went up since 2018. Oh, you know what? Uh, so I was thinking, like the crypto thing, you guys know, like, I have mixed thoughts about crypto, but I think if you invest in any crypto, it really should kind of only be Bitcoin because, or maybe Ethereum too, because like when I think about those kind of stocks, I think that those had the most recognition, and Visa, for instance, is coming out with a Bitcoin cryptocurrency cashback card, not a Dogecoin. Um, cashback, it's Bitcoin. So a lot of people are, you got to follow where people are going, right? So I feel like people are going over to Bitcoin, and that has what, 33K or so a coin. So I would just go into Bitcoin, and that's it. But I also like Dogecoin. But I've spoken to some people, and they said like, oh, it is unlimited, so it's not something good to hold. So, and it's pump and dump, but I don't know. I just think like I wouldn't mind spending like $100 on that coin, and then maybe one day it'll go up to $1 a coin. Maybe, maybe not. But it's just one of those like, huh, if it does go up to $1 coin, then great. Instead of whatever 100 coins times $100 is, like that it'll turn into $1, so it'd be a good investment. But maybe, maybe not. So, and plus, I think it'd be kind of cute if I had a little Dogecoin sticker over here. So I had my Wall Street bets, my diamond hands, and my Dogecoin over here. I think that'd be kind of funny. Am I holding GME for the final hurrah? I think maybe I'll hold one or two shares, and that's about it. But I don't feel comfortable holding all six at this point. There's just too much volatility. If I put in, if I hold on, if I have a GME that I bought at 148 and it drops to $60, like, yeah, okay, I lose $60. Um, I lose a bunch of money. It's not going to be nearly as much as other people. And then in the event that it does shoot up, in the event that that $148 GME stock shoots up to $600, then I can cash out then, right? And then I can make an extra $500 profit. So risk versus reward. I don't want to tie up a lot of money into a GME um, and then have more amplify my losses, because I expect it to go down. I really do expect it to go down, possibly 50% tomorrow, and that's a little scary. Am I dumping it soon? I gotta see what happens. What happens tomorrow? I think that it's very possible it can go lower tomorrow, and I have to just take it, based on how I feel about it. But maybe I could be wrong. Maybe it's gonna pump up to $300 tomorrow. Maybe it'll go back up to 330. I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah. If you have crypto, 100%, I recommend taking it, putting it into some kind of offline wallet or something like that. Not one of these companies, but like actual like a Ledger Nano S kind of thing. Some kind of offline storage that you have it. That way, if whatever your wallet gets hacked or something like that, it's like you don't have to worry about that. I know that but I have heard that some people. There was this one person that I know. They said that their friend had about $1 million worth of Bitcoin in some sort of thingy majingy, some sort of, I forgot what it was, but they forgot the password. So they've been trying to hack it. And I was like, oh my God. So you kept whatever you have on there, but you forgot your own password. And this was like many years ago, right? So it's just like, why don't you freaking tape the damn post-it onto the whatever you put it on? Or make sure you put the note in a picture frame or something, and then like never throw away the picture frame. You know, once you like separate that kind of stuff, that's scary. So yeah, I don't know if they ever got the money out. I have no idea, but it's not unusual to find out people they have cryptocurrency back in the day and then they can't access it. There was this one guy who has like, I forgot what he has, but he has like Bitcoin cryptocurrency and he has like over $100 million worth, but I might be remembering it wrong. He had like 8 times, he has like 10 times to figure out what the password is, and he's already used up 8 times. And in the event that he doesn't get the next 2 times, he's locked out forever. Like, that's pretty fucking scary. Like, that's really scary in my opinion. I'm like, frick that. Frick that. It's not just like, yeah, because those passwords are really no joke. So you guys can look it up. Just type in something like cryptocurrency guy locked out 8 times, or yeah, you'll find it. It's like really heartbreaking. Yeah, but the cryptocurrency goes up in value faster than gold, right? Gold has kind of stayed around the 1,000, 2,000 mark for a number of years. Cryptocurrency hasn't, and Bitcoin has shot up astronomically. Oh, yeah. I don't know. He said he lost it, so that's when you would probably get a hacker and ask the hacker to figure it out for you, but then you gotta try to make sure the hacker doesn't take your coins. Yeah. They even say the same thing for what iPhones, right? If you get the password wrong too many times, you get locked out progressively longer and longer and longer and longer. So, yeah, sucks. But yeah, all I know is that if I was in that situation, 100%, I would tape the damn post-it to that whatever it is, or put it behind a picture frame, or put it in a drawer, or tape it underneath a piece of furniture, and I would never, ever, ever lose it. I would make sure, like, I would not lose this password. I would not lose this password. Like something like currency, like cryptocurrency. It's like, how could you freaking lose your password? Yeah. So I spoke to that ex and I asked them about it, and they said, yeah, they have the crypto, but I don't know if they have the password. I don't know if they saved the password. I'm kind of worried about that. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. So, oh, it's free. It's free. You just open up account and then you can just do that. Some people are going away from Robinhood because of what happened. So you can also do TD Ameritrade. But yeah, it's free. You just got to transfer money in. So the trades are free. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, so I spoke to that ex, and then I don't he says that he has the thing that he stores the crypto on, but I don't know if he has a password. And I don't think he remembers how much he bought um for me, and I don't know the number either. So it's kind of like, yeah. So, yeah, I gotta talk to him and then figure out what I'm gonna do about the crypto situation. But if I get it, because I'm not probably not gonna get it for a while since he's in Hawaii, right? And I don't want him mailing the damn thing to me. Um, I will most likely transfer it to like a Ledger Nano S, and then keep it safe and have the freaking password or something taped on the damn thing. And then make sure like I never ever freaking lose that thing, because who knows, right? Who knows? Maybe Bitcoin's gonna get to astronomical amount of money as a coin, and then that little small investment turns into a sizable amount of money. So I think it's worth saving it in the event that it shoots up, let's say $400,000 of Bitcoin, which seems kind of unusual and it seems kind of far fetched. But hey, I'm surprised Bitcoin got to 32K. Yeah, well, it's not even a full Bitcoin. It's like a little bit of a Bitcoin. It's like a really small amount. So put it in a physical vault. Yeah, I could put it in a safety deposit box, but I don't think I will. I think I'm just gonna keep it somewhere, and yeah. But I don't, because it's like, I think I'll just keep it somewhere and I'll never, ever, ever freaking touch it. No, I'm not storing it on a MacBook, but yeah, wherever, whenever I get it, which is gonna be quite some time from now, um, I'm just gonna keep it into, you know, keep it somewhere, and then make sure I don't lose the password. And I probably won't touch it for 5, 10 years or so. Yeah, because it's like, what am I gonna use the Bitcoin for? So yeah, it should be, I think, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and yeah, keep it for 10 years. Maybe it'll go up in value. Maybe I'll look at it and be like, oh, okay, it went up a lot, but or maybe it went down a lot, but whatever. Yeah. Kind of unusual, like this whole crypto thing to me. It's like I still can't wrap my head around it, but I wanted to get a little crypto because people are getting onto it. And I was like, oh, frick it. Okay. If I, you know what, Erica, if you're willing to put money into stocks, you should put a little bit of money in crypto. And it's just like a really small amount of money. Yeah, I've heard Bitcoin is rumored to get to $100,000, $400,000. It's just crazy. It's crazy. So. Yeah, but I don't see any downside. You know, put $100, and not financial advice, but like put $100 into crypto, see where it takes you in 10 years. You know, yeah, see where it takes you. Yeah, I mean, like it's, yeah, maybe a triple, quadruple, multiply infinitely, but at least you have a little bit of something. So that kind of falls in line with my whole thought process of like, if you want to invest in a company, just buy one share. Like, who cares if it's a $20 stock? Just buy one share. Maybe your $20 stock will turn into a $200 company, or $200 or $2,000. You never know. You never know. Or maybe it splits, right? Maybe your $20 stock, if you hold on to it for a really long time and you forget about it, it grows in value. And then that one share turns into 5 shares. And next thing you know, you're like, oh, wow, that's a lot that I gained from that $20. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get going. I sound a little tired because I am tired. And I just wanted to tell you guys about this stuff. You guys stay warm. It is a snowstorm. The freaking thing is just white when I look outside, and thankfully we have the heat on. I feel really fortunate, and like I know this sounds kind of misplaced to say, but whenever we have whenever we have heat, I'm like, we always have heat, right? But like whenever we have the heat on, I feel really, really grateful to have the heat, because I know there's some people in New York, their heat doesn't work, or maybe they don't have money for heat, and it is so freaking cold outside, you guys. So whenever I feel the heat on, like you can see, like I'm I'm not even wearing a jacket right now, but um just feeling warm inside, like I don't take that for granted 100%. Like I just feel so thankful I'm not shivering out in the cold. I always, like I see outside, it's like so much snow. I wonder about the homeless. I wonder about the people who are inside freezing their butts off. And yeah, there's certain buildings like NYCHA, NYCHA, NYCHA buildings, it's like they don't have heat, they don't have hot water, and they haven't had it for a long time. And my heart really goes out to them. It's like it's just so cruel for someone to live in a place and their heat isn't working because for whatever reason the building maintenance isn't on it. Um, no, I don't feel compelled to stream if I don't feel like doing it, but I really like speaking to you guys. It's just sometimes I'm like, oh, I feel tired, or I can feel like my voice is going out, and then I have this, like, you guys can tell, you guys can hear it. But yeah, I don't mind it at all. It's just, yeah, it's getting late, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. I don't know what time it is where you guys live, but right now it's 1 a.m. And the upside about what's going on with the GME crashing thing is I'm having a healthier sleep schedule. I'm still glued on my phone looking at the stocks, but I'm like, frick it, if it drops, it drops. If it goes up, great, but frick it, I'm just gonna, I've learned that I'd rather just stick with my longs rather than put myself through this kind of stress. Can you imagine, like, if I sell right now, like, I would only be making about 20%, like, that's, or so, maybe like $100, maybe less. Like, that's a lot of freaking stress for $100. Just like if you think about it, right? Like, if I held along, it would have eventually got there for a certain stock like Microsoft or Apple, and I don't have to do anything. So yeah, it's just crazy. So yeah, I shall talk to you guys later. I will see you, and you guys stay warm, take care, and I hope you guys don't have too much snow to shovel, because I look outside and the snow here looks like so much snow. See ya.